Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on what part of the world you are in. This is Big Girl Diary. OMG. Okay. All right. There is a lot to cover. There is a lot to cover. But let me make sure everything's working. Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, man. P. Diddy. I apologize. He's apologizing. Okay, wait. What's going on? What's going on? Okay, that's on. Why am I struggle streaming? Oh, okay. Okay. It's on. Oh, okay. All right. Good. It's working. All right. All right. All right. I was struggle streaming for a second. Now I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. All right. Oh man. Okay. Get into things. Let me just say this here. Look, please like, subscribe. That's for free. Um. Now. Hmm. All right. Like and subscribe. If you don't like it, dislike it, subscribe, and then tell me why you don't like it. Look, there's going to be times I'm going to make content that you may not like it, and that's okay. We can all have our own individual appointment, individual ideas and opinions. That's what makes the world go around, and that is okay. And if you unsubscribe, I'm sorry to see you go. I'm sorry, but you know, I just hope you found some value out of my content. But my favorite royal is Princess Diana. And I just happen to like Harry because Harry reminds me a lot of Diana. And that's neither here nor there. Let me get back to Diddy. Let me get back to Diddy. Oh my goodness. Diddy, Diddy, Diddy. Diddy, Diddy, P. Diddy. Now, there is one thing we must talk about. Let me say this real quick. There are times to where we do anything for fame and fortune, for our names to be up there and lights, and we do anything to get money. And that was P. Diddy. He was like, I'll do anything to get money. I'll even murk my mom. I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. That's his mom. Now, she's interesting, very interesting. And I'm going to leave it right there. If you learn who his mom is and her behaviors, then you'll understand him. Now, I really didn't cover too much of this because I want to wait everything out because I wanted more to come out before I start talking about it. And I'm looking at what other people are talking about, and I'm like, okay, you're not going deep enough. You're not. You're not. Dealing with somebody like P. Diddy that has, how can I say, that does any and everything to remove himself from who he really is. He's not going to show you because by him being Puff Daddy, because he changed his name several times, Puff Daddy, P. Diddy, this, that, and the other. He changed his name, did this, did that, did the other, having all these women. And when a guy is that abusive, okay, now let me, how can I say this? Because some of us remember him as Sean Needlecombe. Okay. Some of us remember that guy, right? And even then, little sus. It's a little sus. But when he started, okay, I'm trying to find a way to say this without getting in trouble. Okay. Let me do this real quick. Forgive me for being all over the place. But let me first show you this. And and this right here would lead into everything what I'm going to say. Yes. Scripture. Mark 8:13 to 35. And this is so true. This right here is P. Diddy. For what shall it profit a man if he shall gain the whole world and lose his soul? Then, or what shall a man give in exchange for his soul? I mean, and we're not looking, P. Diddy sacrificed so much. He wanted his name on big letters. He wanted this. He wanted everything. And he sold his soul. Now people are like, well, what does that mean? When you sell your soul, you're not writing on a line saying this, that, and the other. No, 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 no. You are sacrificing yourself. You're doing things that you would never do. Normally, do this, do a little bit of that, but you wouldn't do anything that is so shameful that you don't want anyone else ever knowing. And you compromise yourself. You'll do something such as, like some people, with Mary J. Blige. I mean, what she did and still is doing and still is in captive. Well, I don't know how much further she's captive to P. Diddy, but she stayed in a small little, how can I say, she had a collar around her neck, and he just sort of played her, and he did so many horrible things. Now, just that right there alone is a lot. And now he wants to apologize. How do you apologize for doing some of the most disgusting things? You're taking, like Cassie, and you're beating her down to her nothingness. She has to be completely broken in order for you, yeah, you, Sean, yeah, for you to have a semblance of manhood. You're like, BGD, aren't you going a bit too far? No, 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 not far enough. Now, P. Diddy, I mean, I'm going to show you something real quick. Real quick. Where's it at? Where is it at? I'm going to show you some. Oh, well, let me finish this real quick. But he sacrificed he sacrificed everything for this, right? Okay. Here's the interesting part. Whoever therefore shall be ashamed of me and of my words in this adulterous and sinful generation, of him also shall the Son of Man be ashamed when he comes into the glory of the Father with his holy angels. Oh my goodness. And Diddy, he did all of this to gain the whole world, to gain fame and fortune. He did all of that. He sacrificed all of that. He gave all that up. And what did he give for his soul? Now, Puff Daddy, because they called him Puff Daddy because he was always puffed up and ready to fight. When he gets with Clive Davis, he goes from ready to fight to, I want to tell you who I really am, but I don't think everybody would, how can I say, accept me for who I really am. Well, who are you really, P. Diddy? I'll give you a clue. There's this movie called Looking for Mr. Goodbar back in 1977. I remember seeing that when I was young. And when I look at P. Diddy and his situation, oh yeah, Oh, yes. P. Diddy in that movie. Go back and look at that movie. And the end, the very end, you'll see P. Diddy. It will build up, build up. It's a it's an interesting movie, but looking for Mr. Goodbar, I haven't heard anyone talk about that. No content creators is making that connection between P. Diddy and looking for Mr. Goodbar, played by, I think, Richard Gere, 1977. Check it out. You're going to see Cassie. You're going to see all the people in there. All the people that are in there, you can see in that movie, Mr. Goodbar. It blew. I'm like, oh my good. I'm looking at Mr. Goodbar. I'm looking at that. Now, let's go ahead and get to the apology because we're going to break it down some. Now, other content creators were taking it this way and that way. Fine. I got to take it a different way. All right. Okay, here. Okay. Fair use YouTube, fair use P. Diddy, fair use everybody.
The darkest times in your life, sometimes you got to do that. I was fucked up. I mean, I hit rock bottom, but I made no excuses.
Wait, okay, all right. He hit rock bottom. Before we even go any further in that, Jaguar Wright, fair use, Jaguar Wright, she breaks down what he did. He's talking about dark places. You sold your soul. You sold your soul, but I gotta let it play all the way through. All right, fair use, fair use. Please pay attention. This is what P. Diddy was doing when he's talking about rock bottom. Okay, you hit rock bottom because you were forced to. You were forced to stop. You can know.
So I talked to my drug guy, and my drug guy filled me in. And then it made perfect sense. Tusi.
Talk to him.
Drugs with Jaguar.
Let's talk.
Drugs education.
101.
So Tusi is the cocaine, but they take the ketamine and cook it up. And they fold it into the coke. Now, if you don't know what ketamine is what they call on the street Special K. It's a veterinary drug. It's a horse tranquilizer. Now, gay men have been using this for years. See, back in the day, if you went to a gay party or a gay rave, there were certain drugs that you would always find on hand. Viagra, ecstasy, Special K, and cocaine. Now, see, the cocaine keep you up all night, but unfortunately, it gives you limp noodle because of what the blood flow is. So you wants to fuck with a half-hard dick all night. So that's why you have the Viagra, to make sure that the dick involuntarily stays hard while you're numbing your fucking self with the coke. Now, see, the ketamine, that's a horse tranquilizer. So that relaxes all your muscles. You could get fucked by 80 fucking ton gorillas. You wouldn't feel a thing. So now your dick is going to stay hard. You numbed up and you high. You got the ketamine in you so you don't feel shit. And then you add the ecstasy to put in the feeling that you've now blocked out. And now you got a party.
Freak off cocktail.
Yeah. So now the Tusi, they done skipped. They done skipped all the steps. They condensed it.
Wow.
So you got the cocaine in there, and then you got the ketamine in there, and they say that some of the dealers add the ecstasy in there. Now the Viagra, you still got to take that solo. Mm. But with the Tusi, you got all of that.
Within.
The gay cocktail.
Oh.
Off cocktail in the one thing. And the reason why it's pink is because they put the food coloring in it. They think, he said he think they got it from the Breaking Bad. You remember how they was making the map, and they made it.
All right, that is what P. Diddy was using. That is what P. Diddy was using. He was using that. So when he talks about I was in a dark place, he has to go back to that. He has to go back to that. So I know there's a bit graphic, forgive me, but I really need you to understand the levels of depravity, what he's talking about. And if you look at his face, right? When you look at his face, I clearly don't know to the levels of he's trying to get to, but I want to make sure that you all understood that. So when he put a Cassie and all those women through FOs, that's what he was using, and he was using it himself. All right, let's get back to it. P. Diddy.
Behavior on that video is inexcusable. I take full responsibility for my actions in that video. I'm disgusted.
Does he really look disgusted? I mean, to me, it looks like that he's trying to cry like Amber Heard. You know, remember Amber Heard sitting on the stand and she said that Johnny Depp did all these things to her, and she's trying to cry like she's doing all of that. I kind of see that in P. Diddy. And even though that he Cassie on that video, and I can't play it. I should have put it up on my community section, but he did all that. But keep in mind what he did with those FOs. So let's finish this up real quick.
I was disgusted then when I did it. I'm disgusted now. I went and I sought out professional help. I had to go into therapy.
Wait. Professional help and therapy. Now, in his FOs, he had Dr. Ruth Westheimer. I don't know if you know who she is. Dr. Ruth Westheimer, she's a MEX doctor. She used to be on the radio back in the 80s and 90s. Is he talking about her? Is he talking about TD Jakes? I mean, who is he talking about? Because he's doing some wild stuff. And now he's talking. Okay, I can't sit there and say what he's doing and what he's not doing. I'm not. Thank God I'm not in his skin. Oh my God. Woof.
Had to ask God for his mercy and grace. I'm so sorry. But I'm committed to be a better man each and every day. I'm not asking for forgiveness. I'm truly sorry. It's so difficult to reflect on the darkest times in your life. Sometimes you got to do that.
Okay. Now we'll say everyone has their own level of darkness. Everyone, I don't care who you are. Looking in that mirror, you have to look at the things that you have done. Whether if it's to the level of Diddy or to the average everyday person crossing, jaywalking is the highlight of their life. I committed a crime, you know. But you got to stop and think, okay, is P. Diddy apologizing now? And it looks like that he's someplace not anywhere around here. If you look, that doesn't look like that's not his house, his mansion. That's someplace, some kind of resort or something of that something of that sort, some kind of resort. But now he's apologizing. When he was making now he was making videos after when he broke up with let me see, J-Lo. He would make videos or have music videos taunting. Then after when Cassie was able to break free and run away, he was making videos taunting. And I'm just like, where was the apology then? It wasn't. He went right on to Young Miami. And if you look at Little Rod's complaint, he talks about how a Young Miami jumped on him and tried to have her way with him in a sexual way. And I just and she was taking those very same rugs as I had Jaguar talked about. She talked about the Tusi and the Tucci, and she told you the difference. And Young Miami was using those things, and she was really high out of her mind when she jumped on Little Rod at P. Diddy's request or behest. But now that the FBI raided his house, now that Clive Davis, he's still next to his side, now that Ron Burkle, the billionaire, has backed away, and a lot of people are backing away because the Phoebes, you know who that is, put out that that video back in 2016 at the hotel to where he's Cassie, to where everyone could see it. And him being him being abusive, period, because she wants to go and and he wants to. He's like, I was in a dark place. You were in a dark place a long time ago. I mean, again, the scripture that I showed you, what does it profit a man to gain the whole world? And what did you give up? What did you replace your soul with? Now, again, if you go back to that movie, Mr. Goodbar, back in 1977, check that out. I'm placing emphasis on that for a reason. If you happen to go back, if you happen to see the movie, the whole movie, or if not, if you just watch a portion of it, or even at the last 10 minutes, 20 minutes of it, you'll get vibes of P. Diddy. Now, P. Diddy, he was saying some really sus things on Drink Champs, calling guys daddy and party with me and can I take you shopping? I mean, he was going both ways. Now, it looked like that he was more toward the persuasion of the men than it was with the I don't know. I truly don't know, but he couldn't come out being Puff Daddy and wanting to, be rustled up with some men. I mean, he couldn't come out and do that. But if you look at my earlier, did I have that? To where when you think of Puff Daddy, you think of something like this. You think of this, right? And that's what Little Kim. I think that's Little Kim. You have this. It's wild. It is completely wild. Let me take that off. Oh, man. But let's check this out. Let's check this out real quick. Okay, here. All right. Now you already saw the part of him apologizing. Now, and look, P. Diddy, I'm gonna tell you, you got your fame and fortune. You got exactly what you wanted because you gained the whole world and you sacrificed your soul for it. You sacrificed every. Now everybody knows your name. Now mainstream media is checking you out. Okay, I'm not even going to play that because it's going to go into the video of him assaulting her. But here, CNN, and I can't believe the Phoebe people gave this to CNN and all the major news stations. So he's going down. P. Diddy's going down. Okay, look. Wait a minute. Look, P. Diddy's going down. He's going down hard because he no longer is useful to the powers to be. Like Lucian Grange, he's no longer productive. He's not bringing any more people in. And P. Diddy had so many different allegiance to so many different people. Like first started off as, what is it, the Black Guerrilla Mafia or whatever it was. And they were funding him until he got with Clive Davis. And he was still with Black Mafia mob, whatever it is, down in Florida. But now they're over there in the Midwest. And he's still with Clive Davis. Then he moves up to Ron Burkle, who's not over Boeing, but he has a lot of, stocks in Boeing, very wealthy guy. And he's doing different FOs in their realm, which is off the chain. And we may look at P. Diddy saying, oh, you're doing some wild stuff. But what they're doing over there, those billionaires, they're on a whole level of, okay? But let me get back to the article. So here, the CNN obtained horrifying surveillance footage of the hotel where Sean P. Diddy was staying with his then girlfriend, Cassie Ventura, appearing to show him violently attacking her. Now, he tried to say that that she took $10,000 from him and $100,000 in running. So my thought is this: what are you doing with that kind of money? I mean, that's a lot of money to be walking around with in cash. Okay. So the entertainment correspondent Elizabeth Wagmeister reported on the video on Friday episode of CNN News Central telling the actor or anchors Kate Boldbaum and Brianna Kellier that the footage was from March 2016. Ventura and Combs took the Los Angeles hotel, describing the footage as very disturbing. Yeah, it is disturbing. And here, several reports or several of the rappers' homes were raided, the FBI, and they got a lot of stuff. Now, my thought is this. Okay, you got Homeland Security in there. Now, it's not like that Homeland Security didn't know about what was going on. It wasn't like the FBI, Phoebe didn't know what was going on. It wasn't like that the local police didn't know what was going on. Just like the guy who got in his studio and the police turned the other way. So P. Diddy was, paying off a lot of people in order for them to look the other way to commit the crimes that he was committing. Now, the thing is this, understand this. When you sell your soul to that level, you get a lot of perks. You get a lot of perks for people to look the other way to where, oh, how can I do this? I don't want to get, right here, I'm going to have to turn this off.
Truly love. Come on, check it out. Seems like yesterday we used to rock the show. I laced the track, you locked.
That's Kim Porter. That was his first, and the levels of abuse that she took. Now, she was with Al B. Shore first. They were married, and Al B. Shore, he never, you know, he never did that, but he did cheat. And then she left him to get with P. Diddy, and the levels of things that he did to her, she was going to write a tell-all book, but she's no longer here. Now, Kris Jenner, she gets herself into some wild stuff. But okay, I'm gonna leave Kris Jenner out of this. But Cassie was going to be the next, I believe, and I'm gonna say P. Diddy is claiming his innocence on everything that I'm saying. He claims his innocence. Everything's going through the court of law. When that happens, and whatever it is, then it is. But okay, he claims his innocence. But it looked like that the level of abuse Cassie was being exposed to, she was going to be the next Kim Porter, the very next Kim Porter, because he was beating on her, was really beating on her. And I'm going to mention this movie one last time, because if you pay attention to the very end and the level of abuse the woman took was at the level of what P. Diddy not only did to Kim Porter, because he so badly that her face broke her nose, and oh man, I mean, it's really rough to see what women will go through, because Cassie didn't leave when she should have. Well, okay, we could sit here and say, Cassie, you should have left. You should have packed your bags and left. You should have done this, that, and the other. But he held her music career over her head. She left. What's his name? Ashley somebody. Then to go with P. Diddy to take her career to the next level. Now, if she would have stayed with Ashley Hinson, whatever his name is, then her music career would have went off, but it wasn't going as fast as she wanted it. She wanted that fame and fortune like P. Diddy. But P. Diddy was like, okay, we could be my girl. You got to do this. You got to do all these little nasty things. And I'm going to degrade you. You're going to hire wear white fingernails, and you're going to hire some male escorts for these FOs, and you know, got to put those white fingernails on his back. I mean, did all of that and still didn't get her career off the ground. And Cassie stayed there for 10 years. Now, some people will say, well, you know, Cassie, if you didn't have your record deal by then, and you spent all your time on Tootsies and doing all this other stuff, then there might have been a level of you enjoying that stuff. I mean, some people can say that. Now, if it's true or not, don't know. But that right there is what some people are saying. Other people are like, no, she was abused. If a guy looked at her, Kid Cudi had his car because he looked at her. He terrorized her and he kept her from leaving. Just look at what happened on that video there. Look how he kept her from leaving. Look what he did to her when she tried to run away. Who was she going to tell to? And the interesting thing is this, and people were right when they said, who do you tell? It's not like that P. Diddy had a human resources office to complain to. There was no one to complain to. Who was going to help her? Who was going to help Kim? Al B. Sure couldn't help her because he almost bit the dust too. It seemed like everyone around P. Diddy sort of went to the great beyond. So when he said that now he's seeking therapy, he's in a very dark place. He's this, he's that, he's that. Oh, P. Diddy. I'm just wondering, are you doing this? Are you doing this? Because you know the FBI is coming after you. Look, the FBI are not like the police. The police will say, "Oh, I saw you with that piece of candy. I saw, and we're going to go ahead and arrest you." That is not what the federal government does. The federal government will watch you, get as much information as they can on you, and then they're going to really come after you with everything they have. Now, his mule, Brandon, what's his name? Brandon, oh my goodness, his name is here, but not coming out here. He has a diversion program. I could only imagine what he told the federal government about P. Diddy and about the people that are above. And look, there are people above P. Diddy. P. Diddy is on the very bottom. He's on the very bottom because he deals with the artists and everyone else. The people on top don't want to be bothered. Okay, I'll give you an example. This new I don't like saying beef because I remember beefs meaning people losing their lives within a rap game. And between Drake and Kendrick Lamar. I mean, they're really doing some Kendrick Lamar really did some serious damage on Drake's brand. And it looks like that for me. I'm thinking that Drake was going to replace Diddy because Drake was doing those things because P. Diddy also liked them young too. He liked them young. Cassie was young when she came out. She started singing at the age of 14 and not having much experience when she was with Ashley Leslie was her producer. And within that time, I guess they had some kind of romantic relationship, which is you leave these damn young girls alone. Leave them alone. So Drake allegedly having those types of relationships with those young girls, and the young girls are like, "Oh my God, Drake liked me. He's liked my video. He like yeah." Now he's like, "Oh, you're 18 now." P. Diddy. Cassie was young. Kim Porter, no, she wasn't young. She was married. But they take all that. Now, P. Diddy's houses were raided. All three of them. They only said 2, but 3. All 3 of them were raided. Now, my thing is this. P. Diddy, you let your children, you invited your son into that mess. Your son allegedly was doing what you were doing, and now he's being sued. Somebody that was working on a yacht. She was assaulted. That is you, P. Diddy. You're teaching your son how to be a monster, but the FBI will take its time. Now, I have a additional thought. Okay. Within all these FOs, within everything that P. Diddy was doing, with P. Diddy being above the law because he was able to do everything that he was doing, and the police and portion of the FBI or Phoebe didn't touch him because they were all on the payroll. And Florida, New York is going to go after you. He went after Harvey Weinstein, John Podesta, all those what's his name? Jeffrey EpiPen. In fact, I can't even say the names. It's kind of sad, but what he did was beyond. I'm trying not to put my personal thoughts on it. I'm just trying to keep it neutral. You make up your own mind. But Phoebe allowed him to get away with everything. It took Homeland Security. Now, I have some information, but I'm trying to confirm it. Now, for Homeland Security to get involved in this, Phoebe could have done the national part to where he's going to different places, and even overseas. The FBI does have Phoebe has jurisdiction over there, but he didn't trust that between P. Diddy and the people above him, allowing him to get away with that, had pull. But the interesting part is this. I'm trying to find that. I got information that what's her name? Victoria Trump was friends with Kim Porter. And Kim Porter told her that she was afraid and that P. Diddy was going to eliminate her. She said it. And 2 weeks after that, Kim Porter passed. And there were a couple of what do they call pathologists? Did autopsies and said that there's something wrong with this. That doctor was removed. Another doctor came in and said there's something wrong with this, foul play. That doctor was removed. I think like 3 doctors were removed until they found a doctor saying, oh, well, Kim Porter passed and she passed of pneumonia. Yes, that is what she passed of. Same with Albie Shore until he went into a coma. Heavy D passed. Everybody around in his circle passed. P. Diddy. So, saying all that, by him apologizing, that right there, in my opinion, this is simply my opinion. I very well could be wrong. I got $7.50 worth of law. By apologizing and putting it out before, when he gets arrested, and he will be, he could go anywhere around the world and they can come and say, we want you. Now, if he goes to a place to where there is non-extradition, like certain places, like, no, we're not US, we don't trust you because we think that you're going to use capital punishment and we don't believe in that. You could put him in jail for the rest of his life. That's one thing, but we don't believe in capital punishment. So, or there are places to where the US doesn't have any extradition at all, or do not have treaties or any type of government relationship with other countries. Now, we have relationships with 160 countries, and there are how many, like over like 300, 400 countries. I'm not quite sure. But some people are saying is that he's where what's his name? Russell Simmons is in Bali. Well, P. Diddy, Russell Simmons doesn't have the FBI or Phoebe or Homeland Security breathing down her neck. Now, if the U.S. wants, or better, if Homeland Security wants to go to another country to come pick you up, they can. So don't let that false sense of security fool you. Just don't. And in my individual independent thought, you need to pay for everything what you have done. Everything what you have done. Now, if you got mother issues, which you do, you need to work it out with your mom. But Don't invite that mess onto other people and then abuse women because you got issues with your mom. Making a statement, I will murk my mom for money. Ooh, that is a level of disconnect. And if you look at some of the videos of P. Diddy's mom and her behavior, and their behavior together is extremely unhealthy. I could only imagine the emotional and mental scars P. Diddy has, but that doesn't take away from anything he has done to the women, but you have a better understanding of why he did. You have a better understanding of that. Oh my goodness. You're not running from this one, P. Diddy. You're not running. You're not running. They're going to get you. They're going to get you. And the devil is dropping you off. Yeah. Oh, P. Diddy. Whenever you dance with the devil, he's going to leave you without. He's going to leave you bleeding and naked in the street. And that is where you are, sir. You're bleeding and naked in the street. There's no place for you to run. You have burned all your bridges, done horrible things to people because you sold your soul to the devil. And the devil is the liar. Diddy, don't you remember what Jesus Christ said? You are you. Oh my goodness. You are your father, the devil. You do the work. You do his work. He was a liar and a murderer and a liar from the very beginning. Yeah, that is who you were with, and you did degrading and disgusting things. The worse you did, the higher you went up. Oh yeah. And now what? Look at you. The banks took your. You're running around like you're a billionaire, and the banks are like, P. Diddy, give us our money. Give us our money. See, the devil is dropping you. He lied. The devil lied to you, and you fell for it because you wanted fame and fortune. You wanted everybody to know your name. Now everybody knows your name. Everybody knows your name. Even people with no TVs know your name. Well, I'm going to leave it right there. Whew. You got a rough one. You played the game and you lost. No one wins. When you play the devil's game, it is designed for you not to win. It's designed for you to have fun until you realize all the wild stuff you were doing and you can't go back. And then he holds you by the shame of the things you have done that you don't want anyone else knowing. And you want to keep that ziplocked and in the dark. You don't want anyone knowing the horrible, disgusting things you have done. I could only imagine the nasty stuff you have done and the nasty stuff you had made women do and men do in order for you to get some release, pleasure, because your mind has become so pervert and regular way just doesn't do it for you anymore. That is what happens. That is exactly what happens. But look at that movie, Mr. Goodbar, 1977. Check that out. And as you go through it, you're going to see P. Diddy all the way through that. You're going to see Cassie all the way through that. And the ending, you're like, that makes sense. That's P. Diddy. But please like, subscribe. I'm trying to get the 5,000 subscribers. Please. I'm working hard. and share. And on that note, I want to thank you for stopping by.